Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like the Red Sox are starting to throttle a little bit. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Sea Radio. My name is Corbin, and it looks like the Red Sox have made their first legitimately kind of impactful big league move of the 2024 offseason in terms of free agency. They've already signed one person, but let's be honest here. Cooper Criswell's probably not making that big of an impact on the Major League roster, so I'm going to consider this the first legitimate free agent move the Red Sox have made in 2024, and that is that the Red Sox have signed Lucas Giolito, a right-handed starting pitcher. So we're going to do in today's video is we're going to break down this free agent signing. We're going to talk about the contract he was given, why the Red Sox target him, why he fits in with this team, and ultimately try and decide if this was a good signing or a bad signing by the Boston Red Sox. But before we get into that, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's start by breaking down the actual contract itself. This one's a little bit complicated. It's technically a 2-year deal worth $38.5 million, but it has a couple of options in here. It's got a player opt-out in 2025 and a conditional team opt-out that if Lucas Giolito were to opt into 2025 and he does not pitch more than 140 innings in 2025, the team can pick him up for 2026. I know that's a little bit of a complicated jargon, but basically look at it this way. Right now, it is a 1-year, $18 million deal with a $1 million incentive for different things. I believe it's pitching limit, but I'm not entirely sure. And then he's got a player option in 2025 where he can decide to stay with the Red Sox or retest free agency, and that's worth about $19 million. And if he does opt in, there's a chance that he stays with the Red Sox until 2026 if he doesn't have a great year in 2025. So basically, it's a 1-year deal that could somehow make its way to 3, but more than likely will be 1 or 2 seasons. Now, in terms of the contract itself, I actually don't mind this deal. Personally, I would have rather preferred that there be more solidified years with the Red Sox, right? If the Red Sox are able to turn Lucas Giolito around, he could just re-enter free agency and leave for bigger money in the next year. I don't absolutely love that. But what I do like about this contract is that it's not a long-term commitment. If he doesn't have a good year, or they can't get him back to what he was, it's sort of a, okay, we missed. It's a big chunk of cash, yes, but it's not a long-term commitment in terms of years. And I also like the fact that there are some assurances in here. Hey, we're going to turn you around, but if you can't get the job done, we're going to be able to keep you here for 3 years to figure out how to fix you and make you beneficial to this team. I like both of those things within this contract. Again, I don't absolutely love the idea of it only being a 1-year deal, but if that's what was going to get him here to Boston, maybe once you get him here, you can try and convince him to stay and you can work on it that way. This just gets him in the door, and I really like this contract. I think for a first signing of the Red Sox offseason that isn't a $1 million minor league reliever, this is a really solid deal. Now, in terms of why the Red Sox may have been actually interested in Lucas Giolito is really Lucas Giolito's potential. Yes, in 2023, he didn't exactly light the world on fire. In fact, he didn't really have a great year at all. He finished 2023 with a 4.88 ERA, a 5.27 FIP, and a 91 ERA plus, or about 9% less productive than the average pitcher in Major League Baseball in 33 starts in 2023. However, just because he had a rough 2023 does not mean that even at the bare minimum, he isn't a fairly decent addition to this rotation. For one, you know you're going to get innings and starts from Lucas Giolito. Of his 6 full seasons in Major League Baseball, there were 2 before that were partial seasons, but of his 6 full seasons in Major League Baseball, he's missed 30 starts only once, and it was 29, not including that COVID year where obviously no one made 30 starts, right? So you know he's going to give you innings and you know he's going to give you starts. The question is whether or not there will be quality starts. Now, 2023 wasn't all bad for Lucas Giolito. In fact, there were a couple things that he was still able to do fairly well, and those were strikeouts, where he had a K rate of 25.7%, which was in the 67th percentile in Major League Baseball, about 17% better than the average pitcher in the league. And he also was getting a lot of swing and miss. His whiff rate was in the 70th percentile, again, about 20% more productive in terms of whiff rate than the average pitcher in Major League Baseball. But what could make Lucas Giolito really exciting, and one of the reasons I think a lot of Red Sox fans were hoping the Red Sox took a chance on him, is what Lucas Giolito could be, who the Red Sox could bring back in terms of Lucas Giolito. The potential I'm talking about comes in the form of 2019 to 2021 for Lucas Giolito, where he was a really dominant pitcher. During those seasons, he had a 3.47 ERA with a little bit higher, but still really solid 3.54 FIP, meaning he wasn't getting totally lucky on the mound. He wasn't really getting unlucky. He was pitching right up to that ERA potential, which led to a 1.29 ERA plus, or he was about 29% more productive than the average pitcher in Major League Baseball during that time span. During that time span, he also had an 11.1 K per nine and a really low 2.9 walks per nine with a whip right around 1 at 1.076. So he was letting up basically one walker hit per inning pitched. During that time span, he also had 2 top 10 Cy Young finishes. And in the year that he didn't finish top 10, he was 11th in Cy Young voting. What we're talking about here, when we're talking about what Lucas Giolito could be and the potential for Lucas Giolito, is a really solid number 2 pitcher in a really good rotation for the Red Sox. What you're talking about is a top line starting pitcher. That's sort of the peak of who Lucas Giolito can be. Now the question is, can the Red Sox get him back to that spot, right? 2022, 2023, not exactly standout seasons. Do the Red Sox have the potential to be able to pull that out of him? And to me, the answer is maybe yes, right? The Lucas Giolito feels like a prime candidate for a bounce back year. He's not aging and he's not 33, 34. He's 29 years old. That fastball and that whiff rate still plays in the zone. Lucas Giolito's problem last year was location and walk rates. He was walking a lot of people in 2023. He was leading to a lot of runs, and he was poorly locating pitches in the zone, which was leading to a lot of home runs, where he had a real big amount of home runs last year. If the Red Sox can bring that down, you could get really solid production from Lucas Giolito. Now, the third question that I mentioned in the intro is whether or not this was a good pickup by the Red Sox. And right now, it's a tentative yes. Obviously, this could very quickly become a no, but because that contract isn't exactly a super long deal, I don't think there's really going to be able to be a ton of harm done to the Red Sox. Either way, it could be an issue, but I think this is why you bring in guys like Andrew Bailey and Craig Breslow, because your goal is to revamp the development of pitching within the entire organization, and that includes being able to go out and find these players like Lucas Giolito, who maybe struggled over the last couple of years, but still has potential in him, and be able to bring that out of him. If Craig Breslow and Andrew Bailey are confident that they can do that, this could be a really sneaky good pickup for the Boston Red Sox. And in my opinion, right now, all we have to go off of is being able to trust those guys, right? Maybe we didn't trust Dave Bush all that much with pitchers like this. Maybe we didn't trust Chaim Bloom all that much with pitchers like this. But Craig Breslow was a major league pitcher whose whole focus in the Cubs organization was developing, drafting, and signing major league pitchers. And Andrew Bailey has done a fantastic job with a ton of pitchers in San Francisco, to the point where they have a couple of really good pitchers in their rotation and in their bullpen that have helped these teams out a lot. Hopefully, they could do the same thing in Boston. We haven't been able to see whether or not they can do that, but we do know that they have the background to be able to do that. So that's why right now I'm pretty excited about this signing. One, because we finally have a free agent to talk about, right? It's no longer, oh, what are they going to do? Who are they going to do it with? At least we have some sort of thing to talk about with the Red Sox actually doing something. But two, because this is what the Red Sox have been hoping that they can do with starting pitchers. And if they do this successfully, they could have a really solid season from Lucas Giolito, and it could be someone who really helps out this rotation that maybe floats a little bit under the radar until he can do that. So in my opinion, yeah, I really like this contract, and I think it could be really solid for what the Boston Red Sox are looking for. Now, the issue here is this cannot be the only signing the Red Sox make, right? The Red Sox can't sit back and say, okay, we got Giolito, he's got the potential to be a number 2. We're going to hope and get that out of him, and this is sort of where we sit. No, you can't do that. This is a good complementary piece to someone else. We're still waiting on that big shoe to drop, and maybe that's in the form of another free agent pitcher, maybe that's in the form of a trade, but you need to do something else, right? Lucas Giolito can't be the big addition to your offseason, but he can be a really solid supplemental piece, and I hope that's what he ends up being, and this would definitely be a different conversation as we get closer to spring training if he is the big piece. But that's a conversation for a different day. So right now, let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think of this signing? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Are you excited like I am? Are you on the fence? Are you way against this? What are your thoughts on the Red Sox first big signing this offseason of Lucas Giolito in the comment section down below? As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the red seats.